For the record, we are recording this at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday, August 28th, which is right before, just about 14 hours before the official announcement comes out for the Ryder Cup. But Caleb has gotten his hands. He has some really nice connections to the golf world. Has gotten his hands on maybe some leaks of the Ryder Cup team. I have not seen them, so I do not know what this means. So Caleb, this is us again relying on leaks because we're recording this 14 hours before the official announcement. If the official announcement is different from these leaks, bear with us. But we are assuming this is the team. So we're going to react as if this is the team, and if we're wrong, we'll correct it on next week's episode. But go ahead and break it down for me. Outside of the automatic qualifiers, which is Scotty, Wyndham Clark, Brian Harmon, Cantlay, Xander, and Max?
Max.
Outside of those 6, who are the other 6 that have apparently made the Ryder Cup team for the U.S.?
So, do you want one by one and you get a reaction on like the single person?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right, let's do that. So it is being reported by The Guardian. I'm looking at no laying up here, so fairly credible depending on who you are, how you look at no laying up. But they're saying from The Guardian that one of those, drum roll please, no, I'm just kidding, is Morikawa. So
okay.
Not super surprised by that one. What are you thinking about that?
I think it's fine. I wouldn't have been shocked if he was left off, but also like not shocked that he's on the team. Like kind of one of those. Doesn't bring a lot of energy and juice that I'd want, but I don't know who the other 5 are, so I might feel different about that as we go down the list. But yeah, I mean that's okay. Better than some that I hope don't get selected, but we'll see.
All right, here we go. Next one, Spieth.
Okay. He hasn't been playing the best, but Spieth history says it for itself. I'm wondering if somebody else is on the board with him. We'll see. But yeah, happy about that one, of course.
If you are thinking of Spieth's good buddy, Ricky Fowler, you'd be correct.
Okay, Ricky, I wondered what they would do with him. I'm not surprised. I think he's played some good golf. It's been good to see him back. Clearly, he's not only, I think it's probably a chemistry pick. It's a ratings pick. And I'm glad to see him picked over some others that I'm really hoping don't make the list. So happy with that one. Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely trending upwards as far as the golf season went this year. So I'm okay with that. Like you said, chemistry.
Yep.
Like that goes a long way, I think, even though like this is the one time that it's an individual or it's like a team sport, at least on the PGA side, like you still want to have a good locker room. Like at the end of the day, like you want to have 11 other guys and your vice captains that say, hey, we got this. Like you're fine. Let's go. I think that's what's going to be huge about the birdie challenge for you and I is like, we already have some people plan to be out there for a little bit, or if it's just you and I, like it's going to be positivity. It's going to be, hey, like don't worry about that last one. We got this one. And so if that's the mindset going in, then I think that gives you a leg up as far as that goes. So there are
about these last couple.
There's 3 picks left. I'm going to go with the one that is still speculation. The last pick, number 12.
Oh, okay.
There's 5 on the list that are apparently, allegedly, locks. This 6th one has a tie to the team already, so that apparently is helping his cause tremendously, and supposedly Sam Burns will be picked with the last pick.
What? Really?
Now, I will say, last year in the President's Cup, him and Scotty were pretty good. I think he carried Scotty big time. Like, Scotty was definitely the compliment in that pairing, but they did fairly well. So, in team events, Sam Burns may not be the worst decision based on that. But as far as just general golf goes, I think there could have been a couple other guys that were picked in front of him. But again, chemistry, I could see it. It doesn't surprise me.
Okay, get to these other two because that's going to determine my mood. I'm already a little frustrated, but I understand your points. But what are the other two?
So the other two, one of them, we saw a little foreshadowing by arguably the most popular girlfriend in golf or most popular wife in golf, Brooks Koepka.
Good.
Brooks
Good.
Koepka has made the team.
Okay, now break my heart or make me very happy. Is Justin Thomas on the team?
It's Patrick Reed.
No.
I'm sorry. I had to do it. I had to do it. Bryson.
No. Please tell me you're joking on that one.
He's been playing pretty well. He shot a 58, dude.
That's okay. But
It's JT.
Okay.
It's JT.
Okay. Thank God. Okay. So with that being said, okay, that's good. I'm glad JT and Brooks are on the team. That's who I was most concerned about, like, outside. That's where I was like, I hope Morikawa didn't take a spot, or I hope Sam Burns didn't take either of their spots. So that's good. What I will say is that if this list is correct, the thing I am most frustrated with is that Cameron Young's not on the list and Sam Burns is.
I am not surprised that you think that way.
You don't feel that way?
It's not that I don't feel that way. I'm just not surprised that you feel that way. I do think the Burns pick, the 12th pick, was going to be the one that was like, who do we go with? Or like Morikawa's pick, right? Like, because a lot of people are saying Keegan should be there. We don't know this for sure yet. But like a lot of people are saying Keegan should be there. He played his balls off the first round of the last turn.
Yeah.
The FedEx the finale.
Yeah.
So I can understand where somebody says, Keegan. Cameron Young the same way. Like I am surprised that Cam Young is left off. Just because he just seems like a consistent guy through and through. But he seems to be very dry. Like, doesn't seem to be a force by any means as far as like his.
What is Sam Burns?
No, I'm with you. I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
that would be my thing with him personally. Is like, I'm sure there was zero problems with him in the locker room last year. Like, I have every bit of faith that he was the perfect teammate. But like, can he get the guys going? Like, can he, if all else fails, is he the guy that can, like, I don't know, get his teammates up? Now, I think Sam could do that in the fact that he could get Scotty on board with his train, kind of like what they did last year at the President's Cup, and then they vault themselves higher. So,
yeah,
I get it. Now, another one I'm kind of surprised of is Tony Finau. Finau played fairly well. But again, if you were going to take those three guys that are left off in Keegan, Cameron, and Tony, who would you replace them with? Or, like, would you take out Ricky? Would you take out Colin? Would you take out Spieth? Obviously, the big question mark is, why is JT there? A lot of people are going to be asking that. I cannot imagine a Ryder Cup in this day of golf without JT. He has not played well, but
he's getting the benefit of the doubt because his record is so good, and he should be given that benefit of the doubt now. If he does not have a good Ryder Cup, clearly this is his, he has to prove it, right? He has to prove that decision was correct. And, like, he will not get the benefit of the doubt if he does not show up in this Ryder Cup for future President Cups and Ryder Cups, right? So, like,
he will get ripped
this is
to
his last
shreds,
right? And, like, he deserves that. Like, if
rightfully
you're
so.
Get in, rightfully so, yeah. If you're going to get in based on your history, and then you prove to be the guy that you were this season, that that continues into the Ryder Cup, like you should be ripped. I'm sorry, that's how it works. You are being given the benefit of the doubt, so when there is doubt, you have to get ripped. I'm sorry. And this is the last time that he can cash in on his history without proving it through, you know what I mean? Like if he goes in and has a ho-hum Ryder Cup, and then next year we're talking about the President's Cup, and we're like, well, JT's really good. It's like, no, sorry, he already cashed in on that. He has to now be in the mix. He has to be one of the top, 15 guys, top 12 guys, whatever, to really be considered for this. He can't just be given it based on history.
Right.
So he better make the most out of this opportunity with that benefit of the doubt to cash in on it later. But yeah, I mean, Sam Burns, I'm not like super upset with it. I wanted Cameron Young. I think that Cameron Young should have been the guy. I did not want Keegan Bradley. I did not want Lucas Glover. I'm glad that neither of those two made the team. I think that they're, good in their own ways. They have a case, but like ultimately, I think we need a young guy, or we need youth on this team to build for the future. And Keegan and Lucas Glover just don't move the needle for me. Clearly, not that this team is full of youth, like you have Spieth and some of those guys, right? Ricky, a little older, but also they've had pretty decent seasons, and they move the needle and they have some of that history. So chemistry picks there. I just don't think that Glover and Keegan Bradley are chemistry guys. They're not locker room guys. You know what I mean? So it's going to be very fun having 3 of the 4 spring break guys being on this Ryder Cup team. We haven't won in 30 years at this point across the pond. Like, we need all the energy and good vibes and everything that we can get. And you know what? Ultimately, like, I'm a little nervous, right, about kind of the top guys over on the Euro team, because they do have Hovland, they do have Rory, and Rahm and some of those guys, right? But like, ultimately, 1 through 12, it doesn't matter who that 12th guy is, whether it's Burns, Cam Young, even Bradley and Glover, or I guess even Finau, right? Like, whoever that is, like, we have the best 12. Like, 1 through 12, dominant. Everything else, you can be. There can be some debate on the top 6, or when you kind of